Good morning. You're listening to WIFO-FM in Jessup, Big Dog Country Radio. It's 8 o'clock here on this Flag Day, June 14th. And it is now time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, brought to you by O'Quinn & Associates, Murphy Builder Supply, Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings, and First Southern Bank.
Hi, Wayne and surrounding counties. This is Sean O'Quinn with O'Quinn & Associates. The one constant in life is change. Throughout our lives, we will go down roads that we never imagined. I have decided that it is time for me to make a change. I have decided to start my own independent insurance agency. What does this mean for you? Better rates and multiple companies. Give us a call at our new number, 912-385-1000, or stop by and see us. We are still at 212 South 1st Street, and we look forward to serving you.
Since 1946, Murphy's Builder Supply has been serving the folks of Jessup, Wayne, and surrounding counties with quality products and knowledgeable service. Matter of fact, they feel they sell service first to make sure you get exactly what you need for your home improvement projects. And with each employee at Murphy's being there for 10 years or more, you know you're talking with someone with the experience to help you with building supplies, tools, paint, and all the things you need from a full-service hardware store. The best choice in home improvement is Murphy's Builder Supply, 156 Northeast Broad Street, Jessup.
Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings in Wayne County is a popular thing. To dine in or take out for one delicious meal, and with the low great prices, it's simply a steal. Famous for the variety of sauces, mild, wild, insane, or inferno. When it's time to eat lunch or dinner, Damon's Restaurant is the place to go. Located in the middle of town on West Cherry Street, yes, Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings simply can't be beat. So next time you're hungry and looking for a great meal, head to Damon's Restaurant and enjoy a great deal. The number to call is easy, 588-WING, 588-9464, the real thing. Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings. Those chicken wings are a very popular thing.
Hi, I'm Raymond Brown.
And I'm Mandy Yeomans. At First Southern Bank, our customers are like family. As a locally owned community bank, we're dedicated to helping our clients succeed.
We have loans for every need, whether it's personal or business. We have lines of credit, auto loans, equipment loans, and of course, we offer mortgages. Stop by our bank or call us at 912-588-1010 and see how First Southern Bank can help you.
Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
The following is an exclusive presentation of Jessup Broadcasting, the sports leader in Southeast Georgia.
World famous. The world famous Butch and Bob Show.
World famous Butch and Bob Show, right here on WIFO, 105.5 FM in Jessup, Big Dog Country Radio. Good morning, Bob. How you doing?
Hot.
I mean, just all kinds of all-star action. I'm just glad that you're doing that game at 10 o'clock yesterday and today instead of 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Well, if they lose, they have to play again at 12. So
that's right, I know.
They'll win,
So all-star action going on, and we'll be broadcasting that game today on the 12 and under, beginning at 9:50, first pitch at 10 o'clock, and Bob will be at Bill Morris Park for that all-star action. And the other thing is he'll keep you updated on everything else that's going on. Lots of games going on today, right, Bob?
Yeah, the 10U team should win as well, so hopefully we'll talk to those guys after they win the championship. They've been rolling, so.
Rolling.
14 has to win twice today. They've got to beat Glenn twice to win the district. Both teams headed to the state, so a lot of these teams already going to state. Like I said, 12U's going to state. Win or lose, they're taking two teams. So 14U, they're taking two teams. So 10U, they're taking two teams. The only team they're not taking two teams, and Speck was here earlier last week and said no one seems to have the answer, but the 10U softball team finished second in district and their season's over because they're only taking one team to state.
I was wondering about that when you had that on when you left me in those notes. Well, we got a special guest in here this morning. Bob, who do we have here on the world famous Butch and Bob Show?
Yeah, another candidate for District 1 County Commissioner. We had Brian Griffiths yesterday, got Mike Gordon today. Mike, appreciate you coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Again, the early voting's underway. 25 Republicans voted yesterday. The voting takes place all this week. An election a week from today, tomorrow night, or a week from tonight at 7 p.m. Polls will close. So, again, how's the campaign going? I mean, it's kind of hot. Are you knocking on doors or calling, or how's the campaign going?
Well, I was out knocking on doors. When it got down to having to take 2-3 baths a day, I started working the phones a little more, and that's what we've been doing here this past week. Is we're working the telephones, we're calling, texting, we're letting people know how important it is for them to get out. I was a little bit disappointed in the primary with a little over 4,000 voters. We had about 34% turnout. Statistically, you usually get about a third of those showing up for the runoff. So if that's the case, we're looking a little less than 500 to turn out for this election. I hope people will surprise me. I hope we have a large turnout. But yesterday's a indication that it's going to be low. But please, there's more than just a county commissioner at stake here. It's the way our county is today. We've got to get out, be a voice, let's be heard, make a change.
And we assume everybody knows who Mike Gordon is, but there's a lot of people out there that don't know who Mike Gordon is. So just tell us a little bit about yourself, your family, and why you decided to run for county commissioner.
Well, I'm married to Bonnie Gordon. We have 3 children, 6 grandchildren. Both of us have lived, worked, educated, all here in Wayne County, retired. I'm someone that's passionate about Wayne County. I'm someone that has real-world experiences. And I'm someone that's approachable and accessible. Now, what I mean by that, excuse me, what I mean by that is real-world experiences gained me leadership through real life. I started working at a very early age, like most kids back when I was young, in the tobacco fields. I'm glad I'm not doing that today. But at the early age of 14, with a work permit, I became a bag boy / stock clerk at one of the local grocery stores. In the early 70s, I ran my dad's grocery store. And when he retired, I went to work for General Foods' powdered soft drink division, where I called on corporate chains. I designed programs, sales events for corporate chains, and did quite well. Had fun doing it. I was offered a position or a promotion to move to White Plains, New York, which I elected not to do. And when I did that, I was forced to change careers. After working a short period of time with WIFO, I went to work in the car business. Started at the low end or bottom job of service writer, and worked my way up the corporate ladder until I was general manager. I managed several dealerships over the years. I spent 17 years in one particular with one particular employer. I learned how to manage people, to read budgets, to put together budgets, and I think my real-world experience, it's something that you can't get from textbooks or any other way. I'm approachable because I listen to people. I want constituents to get involved in county government. And I'm accessible because I'm fully retired. I've already seen that this job requires a lot of time, and I have that time to give. I can dedicate myself and communicate with constituents.
And if you just joined us, Mike Gordon, Canada County Commissioner, in the studios with us on the Butch and Bob Show. Again, the election a week from today, and early voting underway. Last time you were here, we had you on before the last race. There was a 3-man race. You and Brian Griffiths survived and are in this runoff. But last time you were here, you talked about how you had a strategy to control the budget or cut the budget, but you wouldn't give us the details. So you're going to give us the details today?
I'll give you some, Bob.
The reason I asked the budget, looking at it, a lot of it's, personnel, benefits, things like that. I mean, that's a majority of the budget. So people were calling me saying, is he going to cut personnel? What's he talking about doing with the budget? So thought I'd ask you what your plan is with the budget.
Well, what I see in going to meetings for the past 3.5 years and studying budgets is, the excessive spending and growing budgets continue to be a huge problem. Example, this past meeting, the administrator went over budget a little over $47,000 on a project that was done at the airport without the commissioner's approval. The company shows up to get approval to be paid, and the first thing that the commissioners are saying, well, why are we finding out about this now? We're not able to stay in budget. That's a big problem. But cutting excessive waste, excessive spending, we've got to do that. We're setting our millage rate in November of every year, but we don't get the budget until January. So it's kind of like going to Walmart and your first stop is the cash register, and they say, I want to pay you. For what? You don't know until January what you're setting the millage rate for. So I think the first thing we need to do is reverse that. Let's get the budget, and then we'll set the millage rate accordingly. This year, they set the millage rate in November. January, they got the budget. Someone finally looked at it and says, oh, wait a minute, we got too much revenue coming in here. So they had to go back and amend the budget from $25 million to $27 million. You can't have a profit. They've got to equal. So we're doing it backwards, and I think we should. I think we should incentivize department heads to be able to cut waste in their own departments. People are telling me that you just wouldn't believe the waste going out of these departments. And, I think you can cut waste without compromising services. Again, the new commission, when they come in January, the big topic, of course, is the judicial complex. You hear all that. Like I told Brian yesterday, I've heard all kinds of figures, but I haven't seen any plans. What's your thoughts on the judicial complex? Bob, there's more questions out there than there are answers. The committee is meeting kind of secretly, not letting anybody know. There's no minutes to the meetings, so you don't know a whole lot. But what I do know is this complex is 86,500 and I think 34 square feet. Now that's bigger, 535 square feet. There's bigger than Wayne Memorial Hospital. Has 159 offices, employs 79 people. This is a huge complex. My question is, does Wayne County need to spend $40 to $44 million? And this figure was an estimate that was done over a year ago. And if anybody's built anything lately, you know that price has gone up. I'm not saying we don't need something. I believe we need something, but do we go in and do we look at repurposing what we have? I don't know. What's our options? Let's find that out and then make a decision on what we need to do. But I think Jamie Hickok said it best a few weeks back that a project this big, $44 million plus, would handcuff this this county where you wouldn't be able to take on any other major projects. And we're talking people that this is probably up to 50 years to pay for this complex if they use SPLOST.
Yeah, Mike Gordon in the studio. Any other items you want to discuss? When people go to polls and there's two names on there, Brian Gross and Mike Gordon, why should they choose Mike Gordon?
Bob, there's two words, honesty and integrity. I pride myself on both of those. I'll work for everybody in this district or otherwise. I'm having people call me already and saying they can't get their commissioner in their district to return the call. I have time to dedicate myself because I'm fully retired. I already see that the position is going to require a lot of time. That comes without the pay, But I'll always listen to the people. I'll listen to the constituents, and I'm hearing people now. Not only are they dissatisfied about taxes, but the recent thing is the county employees have called me, and they found out that they're making 52 cents per hour less than what they were making in 2019. Even though they've had 2%, 1.5% cost of living raises, other small pay increases over the years, they're still making 52 cents less. Why is that? I don't know. They don't know. They've asked that someone get to the bottom of it. But I appreciate these people giving me a call and letting me know their concerns. But the main reason that I feel like that people should vote for me is I've been attending meetings for 3.5 years. I've studied budgets. I know what's going on in the county, and I know that I'm the most qualified for this position.
Okay, we appreciate you coming in. Like I said, it's a week from today. The polls on Tuesday of next week will open at 7 a.m., 7 p.m. Again, the only people who can vote in this race are Republicans who voted Republican back in May. You can't switch parties. So.
I got a question, though. People who did not vote in the primary,
if they're a Republican registered voter,
if they're if they're a registered voter, can they vote?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you did not vote last time, if you voted last time and you voted Democrat, you cannot vote this time. But if you did not vote at all last time, whether you're Republican or Democrat, you can vote in this commission one race, right?
Right. If you voted Democrat in the primary, you have to vote Democrat in the runoff. There are, I think, a few things on the Democratic
races on the ballot. There's 5 state races and 1 federal race on the Democratic.
But if you vote Democrat, you won't see the commissioner race.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So that's it. So let's say that you didn't vote the first time on the primary. You can vote this time.
Yes.
If you didn't vote in the county commission District 1 last time.
Right.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure on that.
They're just saying that whatever you voted last time in May, you have to vote this time. You can't switch parties. If you vote Republican, you have to vote Republican.
Right. I understand that. I'm just saying if you didn't vote last time, if you did not vote in the primary, you can vote this time.
Yes.
Okay. You didn't have to vote last time.
If you're registered.
If you're registered, of course. If you're registered. Okay.
Yes.
Just wanted to make sure on that because I didn't want people to think, I missed the primary. I was, this, that, the other, but I'd like to vote this time. You can.
Yes.
Okay. But
please get out and vote.
Okay. All right. Anything else, Mike?
That's all. I just ask you to please get out and vote. This is very important to our county.
Okay. All right. Mike Gordon, candidate for District 1 County Commission, our guest this morning here on the world-famous Butch and Bob Show. We'll be back more of the world-famous Butch and Bob Show in a moment.
South Georgia weather.
Here's your WIFO forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy, slight chance of evening showers and thunderstorms, mid-70s. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mid-90s. Heat index up to 108. Wednesday, slight chance of showers and thunderstorms early, then mostly sunny. A 40% chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms, highs upper 90s. Georgia Chief Meteorologist John Weatherby in the Georgia 811 Weather Center. Contact 811 before you dig.
Take a step forward in the right direction with a new career. Contact us here at Jessup Broadcasting about our current openings for account executives, full-time or part-time. You will be trained to offer local businesses effective radio and digital advertising and marketing solutions. You will earn salary plus commission. Call or text to set up an interview at 912-427-3711. 912-427-3711. Call weekdays from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. and ask for Mr. Hubbard. Text us anytime. You can also send resumes to cwhubbard@bellsouth.net. cwhubbard@bellsouth.net. Begin a new and rewarding career with WIFO and WLOP Radio. Jessup Broadcasting, an equal opportunity employer. We look forward to hearing from you. 105.5 FM in Jessup, Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO, world famous Butch and Bob Show here for this Tuesday morning, Flag Day, Bob. It's Flag Day. It's the reason why the flag was out there every year. June 14th is Flag Day. So, put those flags up high and wave them proud. And I want to go ahead and do this right here. We had somebody else just checking the text messages, and somebody had texted in, happy birthday to Rhonda Burke, Happy birthday to Rhonda Burke from your sisters and all the family. Happy birthday, Rhonda Burke. Want to go ahead and get that done. And remember now, if you need to get a hold of us in the mornings from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., you need to text in your messages or whatever they may be. We're live on the air from 6 to 9. We can't answer the phone, but we can read text messages. So our main business line is text-enabled, 912-427-3711, 912-427-3711. Well, Bob, just all kinds of District All-Star action going on. You talked about it a few moments ago. It's interesting that we played Glenn County yesterday morning in the game, and now we're back playing them again in the 12 under for the championship.
All right. They came back and got through the losers bracket, so it's Wayne and Glenn today at 12 o'clock. I'm going to start at 10 o'clock for the 12U district title. So again, Wayne wins, it's over. If Glenn wins, they'll play a second game. Again, Glenn has to win
twice.
They'll
have to play at 12, you said? So they'll just go back to back?
They'll go back to back.
Okay. And we've already got some teams that are already qualified for state. You want to mention those again?
The 8U girls softball team finished second in district, but they're going to state event in Effingham County. Again, the 10U softball team finished second in district. They're not taking a second team. Douglas is going to state. 12U and 14U play today with the chance to go to state. The 14U boys have already qualified for state. They play today for the championship. They have to beat Glenn twice. The 12U baseball teams qualified for state. They're playing for the district championship today. And the 10U baseball team qualified for state. They're playing for the championship today. Hopefully talk to those players and coaches after they win the championship today at Ben Park Complex. They play at 10 o'clock this morning as well. They're playing Douglas for the championship.
Yeah, a lot of games at 10 o'clock this morning. And so we wish all the Wayne County teams the best out there today as they try to go for district championships. And congratulations to the ones that have already qualified to go to state. And Bob Moore going to be broadcasting the game. 12 and under boys all-star team playing at Bill Morris Park. First pitch at 10 o'clock. There was some interesting comments that Speck made yesterday. It was good for him stopping by and talking to you. And Coach Mack talking to you. Just a good guest you had on the show on the ball game yesterday morning.
I always appreciate Speck getting an update, but it was nice to talk to Coach McDonald. And like I said, he was out there. Scott, like I said, a lot of these kids went to this baseball camp just this past week. So, like I said, he knows all these kids. So he's out there watching that talent. There'll be future Yellow Jackets before you know it.
That's right. They'll be out there, and we'll be calling play-by-play. We'll be some of these young guys that are playing out there right now. And we just encourage folks to be careful when you're outside. Make sure you have plenty of fluids with you, water, sports drinks, whatever the case may be. If I was out there, I'd be wearing a cap, you know. Make sure you have your sunscreen on because you don't want to come away, burnt. And just be careful with all this heat out there because when it gets up to 98 and heat index near 110, Bob, that's hot.
It's hot. Appreciate Speck providing the tent out there. It's been a nice cover out there.
Yes, so. You got to have. I mean, that's great for Speck providing you a tent, so you got some shade under there. If not, you'd be frying, and not only would you be frying, your equipment would be frying, and it may not be working when it gets that hot. Electronics, two things electronics do not like: it's heat and water, and third, dust. They don't like that. You keep the heat off of them. You keep water off of them. Fluids. And keep the dust, get it cleaned out, and they'll work and perform a lot better and last longer. And so just a lot of action going on today. And the girls over there in Douglas, right? Is that where they're
in
girls
Douglas, right? And there's 2 teams left, the 12U and 14U. Like I said, the 8U's already qualified for state. 10U softball team came to a close. They finished second. But, again, as Speck mentioned, no one seems to know why they're not taking 2 teams from the 10U. But that's the one league where they're only taking 1 team to state.
That is weird. Everybody else gets 2 teams going from a district, but not them. 10U girls. Amazing. Oh, well. Must got to be a reason, Bob. Got to be a reason.
They lost by 1 run, 23-22.
Boy, that's a lot of runs. No, that was not football, folks. That was softball.
Tough way to lose. Now, again, a reminder, next Tuesday we start the state girls event. The 17U girls state event will be here. That's the games.
Just 17U or?
Just 17U.
Just 17U. And we have a team that'll be in that?
Right.
Okay. Well, that's going to be a lot of the high school girls. They'll be starting in August, right?
Right.
Okay.
A lot of them. Yep.
Yeah, so 17U, and that's the state, you said? State event.
Being hosted here in Wayne County.
Okay, hosted here. All right. And that was interesting that Speck said yesterday that that the home, if you host a tournament, that your team or teams, I think said must have to play the first games or something like that. You can't skip or play favoritism. You got to play that first game.
There's no bye. Yeah. So they play at 6:00 a week from the night, 6:00. The 17-year girls will start.
Okay. Well, the Braves on a roll. They defeated the Washington Nationals last night, but we lost someone last night, didn't we, to a broken foot or something?
Ozzie Albies lost for probably most of the season.
Yeah, if you break a foot, ankle.
Just looked weird. Awkward swing, as they mentioned, just fell down, and they had to carry him off the field, and X-ray showed a fractured left foot. So,
Jeez. I mean, just swinging a bat, just... And you don't see that as much in baseball as you do football. There's a lot of times in football you'll see a guy, twist his ankle. Nobody's on him. No one's seeing him. He just does something weird. And of course, there's a lot of them where you do get hit or somebody falls on you. But and even in basketball, you'll see a guy, try to move real quick and go one direction, and his ankle just gives away. But we hate that. But the Braves are on a roll. They defeated the Nats last night, 9-5, I believe is what it was, and they'll take in Washington again tonight. Up in the nation's capital. Our coverage will begin at 5:50 with the leadoff show. First pitch at 7:05. And your Golden State Warriors won last night, Bob.
Yep, they're going to win it.
Well, they won last night. Did they play again?
They play Thursday in Boston.
Thursday in Boston. So Boston gets to try to win back at home.
Right.
Tied up.
If they tied up, they'll go to Game 7 Sunday at Golden State. So, but I think Golden State will close it out in Boston.
Okay, we'll see what happens. The Golden State, they were rolling last night. They were rolling.
They got good defense. Like I said, defense has been the difference. Boston's got a good team, but for some reason, appears in the game where they just seem to get frustrated with the Golden State defense. They can't get anything going. They were talking about it last night. Al Horford and Jason Tate were in the postgame show talking about how they can't figure out why they can't. They go through these periods where they just can't get anything going offensively because of the Golden State defense.
Right. You really got to be in shape to play basketball, especially when you play it aggressively like that. I remember coaches here at, Wayne County talking, through the years about, you got football players who play football, but then they immediately, when the football season's over with, go into basketball. And the basketball coaches, we got to get them into basketball shape. It's you really got to be in shape. I mean, you're running up and down the court. You're all over folks. You got to be a good athlete in shape to be able to play basketball on a high level. Like these guys are there in the championships.
It's been some good games. Tennessee, the number one team all year in baseball, didn't make it because Notre Dame knocked them out. But there's going to be 3 SEC teams in Omaha. Auburn won last night, so Auburn joins Arkansas, and who's the third one? Ole Miss.
It could have been an all SEC national championship if Tennessee would have done what they should have done.
It still could be an all SEC championship. They said 8 teams go to Omaha. And
8 teams.
Two will play for the championship. But 3 SEC teams will be out there in Omaha, Nebraska. Notre Dame, of course, knocked out Tennessee. They're on hand. So.
Okay. And you said there's a meeting this morning?
The
city's meeting for a budget or something?
The city's got their public hearing on their proposed budget at 9 a.m. City Hall.
9 a.m. City Hall. If you want to comment on the city budget, it starts at 9 o'clock. Public meeting. They'd like to have your input. If you have any input at all to give, if you know what's going on. But a lot of times, no one even shows up for these things.
No one shows up for those things.
All right, Bob, anything else on your mind this morning?
That's it.
That's it. All right, we'll talk to you for the game coming up around 10 o'clock, 9:50. And the world-famous Butch and Bob Show brought to you by O'Quinn & Associates, by Murphy Builder Supply, Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings, and First Southern Bank.